What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 211 of Tuck Rule Takes. The gang momentarily not all here. Liam is having some network problems. He has 3 monitors. He can only use 2. I don't know what it happens to be, but the important people are here. The people with the common sense are here. Al's here. I'm Mike. I'm here as well. Liam will be joining soon. I don't know when, but you'll hear him for sure. Al says hi again. Hello. There's sorry for the not as excited. What's up, everybody? We joked about it last week, and maybe I shouldn't have joked about it because I think I tempted the football gods, Al. But this is the ending of an era. The Patriots 10-game win streak has come to an end at the hands of the Buffalo Bills. We will talk about that, what it means, how we feel coming out of it and everything. Then obviously we will preview the Baltimore Ravens game as well. But before we get into, do want to give a shout out to we'll start with Couch Guy Sports. Al, if Liam was here, I'd say that you put us together, but Liam's not here. So I'll just say you kind of started the podcast pretty much. Couch Guy Sports, go check them out. Liam does have a Celtics podcast on there. Celtics are actually doing really well right now. A lot of Boston teams are doing well. So good time to be a New England sports fan. Go check out Couch Guy Sports. Also, Sports Spider. That is Spider with a Y. Go there. You hear me say it every time. Go to the NFL tab. Click the Patriots. Scroll down. You'll see us right there. You can listen on any podcast. You can watch on YouTube. I recommend watching on YouTube. You get a little bit more out of it, but whatever anybody wants to do, go check them out. Couch Guy Sports and Sports Spider. Al, anything you want to get off your chest before we get into this game?
No,
not really, right?
Let's just get into it.
All right. So the Patriots, unless you've been living under a rock, I will just fill you in. Patriots lost on Sunday to the Buffalo Bills, 35-31. Good game, I would say. The outcome isn't what we want. Definitely the tale of two halves, and we'll talk more about that as we go. But I'll just throw some stats out, and then Al, I want to kick it over to you, what your thoughts are, and wherever you want to start. Drake May, 14-23 for a $155, no touchdowns. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, but he did also have a pick. Arguably his worst game, probably so far as a professional. Trevion Henderson, 14 for a $148. 2 touchdowns, great game. Ramondre Stevenson, 6 carries for 50 yards as well. And then receiving, nothing really to speak about. Matt Collins, 4 for 41. He's really the standout there. My initial thoughts, it sucked. Watching the highlights and the replays of some of these, the first half highlights. God damn, man, we were so happy. Up 21-0. Oh, here we go.
Good times, solid times.
It was, but then kind of, obviously, as we know, fizzled out, and we'll get into it. But my kind of just takeaway thought before I toss it over to you. It sucks, but at the end of the day, it's a loss. Every loss counts as the same. Patriots are still 11-3, and we'll kind of talk about where we think they stand afterwards. But Al, coming out of the game, what are your thoughts? And then kind of kick us off.
It was a gut punch because this was, as Mike Vrabel put it, a championship week, a hat and t-shirt type game, which the Patriots could have won the AFC East. It also could have been, the Patriots could have had a little more momentum if someone named Joe Burrow didn't throw 2 picks at the end of the game the week before when the Bengals played the Bills. So thanks for nothing, Joe. But anyways, we're not gonna dwell on that. But I think, Mike, the problem is what you said a second ago. The Patriots were up 21-0, and then 24-7 at half. I think if this was a game where it was legitimately back and forth the whole game, like Bills score, then the Patriots score again, and the Bills score, and kind of keeps going like that, I don't think people have as downtrodden a response to the end result. But I think it's more like, hey, you had this game. You had it in the palm of your hand. You had the AFC East right there for you. You had to play 30 more good minutes of football, and you couldn't do that. And you know what? I don't mind saying this, and I don't care. I know you don't feel this way. Liam feels this way, but I'm going to say it. The Bills are still a threat in the AFC. I'm sorry, they are. They're still a threat. It's going to be them, the Broncos, excuse me, and the Patriots. That's who it is. So you know what? You're going to have to learn how to play 60 minutes against this team. That's why you beat them the first time in Buffalo because you played a complete 60 minutes. And you learn the hard way that it doesn't matter if it's Josh Allen or it's Matt Stafford or it's Joe Burrow or it's whoever. You have to take care of those games. But you know what? And we'll talk about it later on in the show. But take care of your business against the Ravens. Now you should have a rejuvenated, pissed off Patriots team. And even if you lose that game, beat the Dolphins, who you should beat in the last week. Beat the Jets in week 17, like you should, and you still win the AFC East. And at the absolute worst, you're finishing with a 3 seed in the AFC. Which, if you told me that before the season, I would have said, "What are you on? And can we make that happen?" So.
Yeah, you're right. If you're watching, you saw it. If you're listening, you don't know. Liam made his triumphant appearance. He's here now.
The
The
return.
fuckers
Yeah,
monitored up.
there he is. You're monitored up. You got him. You got your shit figured out.
Yeah,
Good. That's what we love to see.
feeling good.
Good. Well, I mean, we haven't really gotten to anything. I just kind of gave my thoughts real quick. Al, you heard the kind of the tail end of his. Patriots lost 35-31. Liam, how do you feel coming out of it? And then kind of any main takeaway, and then we'll just kind of jump into it.
Feel shitty. That's how I feel. I feel shitty. It sucks because I don't like the Bills. I don't believe in the Bills. I think they're downright dog shit. But it seemed so predictable. Where like at halftime, we went uncontested through the first half. It's 21-0. The entire team's feeling good. That fucking idiot Dave Portnoy is posting all this shit that he knows football. He's got 6 rings. It just seemed like I don't know, like I was like, like what can go wrong will go wrong. I was like, if we score one more touchdown on it, like without them scoring, then I thought we were golden.
Yeah.
And like they just kind of came out, and I was like, yeah, just from Jump Street, like their first touchdown. I was like, I was like, this isn't good. This doesn't feel good. I don't like how the Patriots defense is playing. It was the polar opposite of the first half where we just locked all that shit down and the Bills couldn't do anything. If the Patriots defense played like this, the Bengals would have had an even better game. Joe Flacco would have had an even better game. Bryce Young would have had an even better game if the defense played like it did the second half. It sucked and it seemed oddly predictable, which makes it worse. So, yeah, that's how I feel. It blew. That to answer your fucking question.
Yeah, it does. It sucks. And I mean, obviously, you guys know I'm probably the more optimistic one out of the three of us. But like, even like we can all admit it just sucks. Like, I don't know how we feel forward. We'll talk about that. Like, if this game changes anything for any of us, but just regardless of how you feel about that, it just sucks because you had the game. You were up 21-0, 24-7 going into the half, I think, right? Yeah, 24-7 going into the half. I mean, you wish maybe they scored before that, scored a touchdown, but I mean, you're just trying to get any sort of points there. I did have some very like eerie stats I wanted to tell you guys real quick about the first half and second half. So the Bills, horrible first half, as we know. They had 71 yards in the first half. The Patriots had a horrible second half. They had 80 yards. The Patriots in the first half had a great half, 285 yards. The Bills in the second half, great second half. They had 283 yards. So let me just tell you how close it was. Each team's worst quarters, 1 yards. The Patriots had 80. Their best quarter, the best halves, the 85. The Bills had 283. It was quite literally a role reversal from the first half to the second half. Like
Yeah.
within less than 10 yards for each of them. Just a crazy game. And that's kind of why, I guess, where I'll kind of start with it. That's why I don't feel as bad coming out of this, because in order for the Bills to win, you had to play a horrendous half of football. Like,
You have to play like the Bills.
so bad. You had to give up 4 straight touchdowns to start the second half. I'm not including the first one in the first half to kind of kick off the 5 straight. Just talking strictly second half. You had to play as bad as the Bills played in the first half, and the Bills had to play as good as you played in the second half. Like, so many things had to happen. And that's like why, like, watching this game, like you said, Liam, it was almost like you were tempting fate a little bit, where everybody was getting so excited. Like you said, Portnoy was posting things, everybody was getting all hyped up. I'm running around my kitchen. I'm like, here we go. This is great. Oh
Yeah.
my
Did
God,
you
best
did you
team.
hear Scott Zolak's call on it?
No, no.
No, I didn't. What'd he say? Or like kind
So
of
he
paraphrase. What'd he say?
so paraphrasing basically is like Buffalo Bills fans, how do you feel that your time is closed? How do you feel that you're playing the AFC East champions that are here in blue today? And like you hear that and you're like, Zoe, you played in the NFL. And sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to throw this
Oh,
out there.
that's fine.
Like, you played in the NFL, Scott Zolak. You know better than anybody. And he said on Zolak and Bertrand on the Monday edition, when they gave him some crap about it, he was like, yeah, I knew as soon as I said it that we were in trouble, that that was a bad thing to say. And I'm like, yeah, no duh, Zo. No duh.
When
Something
someone is
tells me
throwing
he
a
was a
no
little
hitter,
snowblind
oh,
through most of his career.
he always is. He always is. Well, when a pitcher is throwing a no hitter, you don't go and talk to him, or you don't
Bingo.
say on the broadcast 7 innings of no hit ball. They all like talk around it. They're like, "It's been 7 innings, Al. I don't know. Can he keep it like you never say the words like that? It's one of those things where I think everybody and rightfully so, Bills fans are kind of circling the wagons, as they say. That's the saying. They're kind of talking their shit, and like I said, rightfully so. Patriots fans got a little too rowdy in that before half or going into the second half, and I think it was a mix of kind of karma, the football gods just kind of slapping you down real quick to be like, hey, even if you are the better team, just calm down for a second. And I think that's exactly what happened. And it sucked. I hate that it happened. You can choose to either focus more on the second half or the first half. I kind of look at the whole game as a whole. And to me, the Patriots showed in the first half why they're Super Bowl contenders. And then the second half, it was almost like they wanted to remind everybody, like, hey, we are still ahead of schedule. Like, don't give us all the credit yet. So
Yes.
like kind of coming out of the game, I know we're kind of starting backwards. We'll dive into specifics in a second, but coming out of the game, how do you guys feel about this team? Like, has your confidence wavered at all? Like, wherever you saw them going in the postseason or whatever, has that changed? Like, how do you guys feel about the team right now?
It's you still feel pretty confident, but it's also too, it's like, okay, you played probably the best team that you've played over this stretch, besides like obviously the Bills the first time in Buffalo, and then I guess you could throw like Tampa in there, maybe like a Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but like this was the best team you've played all year. Second time around, you knew they were gonna make adjustments, and it's like, okay, if you see them a third time, sure you'll have Milton Williams back, and sure you should have Will Campbell back, but are you going to be able to make second half adjustments against a team that, by the way, guys, I don't know if you knew this, the Bills are the best second half team in the entire NFL in terms of scoring. They score the most points in the second half in the entire NFL. And by the way, a little Patriot stat for you, and I know you guys will be happy about the first one and mortified at the second one. I'll ask you guys, in terms of first half scoring in the NFL, where do you put the Patriots? Where would you rank them?
They're probably
Low.
pretty high, aren't they? 'Cause I feel like they've
I
been
would put
blowing
them
teams out.
low. I would
Uh,
guess 22.
for the first half scoring?
First half scoring. I think they blow up in the second.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah, I go high. I feel like they're higher. I feel like they put up all their points and then they coast.
Yeah, try number one. They're number one in the NFL for
Oh
first
shit.
half scoring. And now, do you want to know what they are for second half scoring?
Probably last.
Liam,
I'm
what do
gonna
you want
say
to say?
last.
I mean, you're implying that they're not good, so I'll guess lucky
Right.
number 18.
22nd. They're 22nd in the
Yeah,
NFL
be in the
in
middle.
second half scoring. So you were right the first time when you said 22nd before, just the
It
wrong
all
half
played
year.
out.
It all plays out. But
Good.
that's but also, and I'm not trying to be too negative here, but you look at the last couple games, right? The Giants game scored a lot in the first half, maybe scored maybe a touchdown or a field goal in the second half. The Bengals game, you scored a lot in the first half. You kind of stalled out in the second half a little bit. Like it's a little bit of a pattern, and a pattern that you're not playing. Again, you're not playing the Titans anymore. You're not playing the Giants. You're not playing the Saints. You're starting to play some better competition. And if Baltimore is going to be decent, which they're coming off a road in division shutout win against the Bengals with Joe Burrow in there, I mean, they're going to be feeling good and they're playing for a division title still. So they're going to give you their best shot on Sunday night.
Lamar still looks like shit.
Yeah, he doesn't look great. And my only pushback to that, Al, would be like the Giants game. Like we also have to look at context. They were up so much. They were going into their bye week. Like this isn't Madden, where you just keep piling on, piling on, piling on. Like you don't do that. Like, and I'm not really. This kind of part isn't toward a lot of other Patriots fans who think that like they should be blowing teams out 50-0 or whatever. It's like you can't do that. One, like I said, it's not Madden. You can't just roll out there and just keep throwing, and running and everything like that. Two, you don't want to do that. This is a long season. You don't want to just show everybody everything. Like, why
Right.
should Josh McDaniel start pulling out all these offensive plays? Why should the defense start playing all these complex coverages or like whatever it happens to be? And I'm not saying they're saving it, but I'm saying if you're up by 3 scores in the second half, why am I going to run out there and go shotgun 5 wide, blah, blah? Like, no, we're going to run it. You're not going to like it, but we're going to coast and try to get to a win. Now, again, I don't think they tried to do that in this game. I think that they tried to win the game. They just didn't. The Bills were that much better than them in the second half. This was crazy to me. And Al, I'm sure you saw this stat for the second half. The Patriots ran the ball 3 times in the second half for 70 yards. One of those was the big chunk play by Ramondre Stevenson. May went 5 of 12 passing for 48 yards. They ran a total of 15 plays in the second half of the game. You're not going to win a game doing that. That's just how it is. Now, part of that is because you scored on one drive in one play. It was the Henderson run or whatever, and then the Bills go on their longer drives. Like it was a weird game. It was like the perfect storm of whatever. But yeah, I'm not buying into are the Patriots a bad second half team? Even though statistically, yes, but you also just have to watch the games. Like context matters. You're up by so much against these teams. Whatever, the game's in hand. Like in this 10-game win streak, we ever think the game was out of hand in the second half? We always felt like the Patriots were in control.
Maybe the
99% of
Giants
the
game,
time.
but that's it. Right.
So it's like I get it. Stats are a thing. And I saw one stat where it was like, I don't know, it was like CPOE. I forget what the fucking acronym was, but it was like May was extremely accurate the first 10 weeks. And then the last however many weeks he hasn't been and whatever. But it's like sometimes we become stat sluts where we just focus way too much on the stats. And I'm not only saying that because the stats don't or aren't in favor of the Patriots. Like I agree that for some stats, like their red zone offense, horrible. Red zone defense, horrible. Some stats are undeniable. But some of them, it's like you got to add context, guys. Like, yeah, okay, so May hasn't been as accurate. What do you mean by that? Is he throwing the ball away more? Like, is the team up by however much, so he's just not throwing that much for certain times in the game? I don't know what it is, but just a long way of responding to what you said. I don't think it's a disease. I think it's just I don't know. It's just something that happened this game, and it just looks worse because they lost. If they won the game, we wouldn't really be harping on it, but I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I
I
don't
know.
know. But so just to kind of put like a thing on. So say you thought the Patriots were going to go to the AFC Championship game. Do you think that they're still going to go there, or do you think that, or does this game change it that much for you, or does it change it at all, or how do you look at the team moving forward?
I I think with the result of this game and with the result of Denver beating Green Bay, I think the number one seed is now, I don't want to say completely out of the question, but it's pretty unlikely now that they're
Yeah,
not going to get the one seed. And granted, Jacksonville's playing pretty well and Houston's playing pretty well. So whoever gets the division there, if the Patriots don't win out, they could be in trouble getting that two seed too. So I'm just hoping that this doesn't kind of start like a negative reaction to where they go on a losing streak. And again, I don't think they will, but you can't help but wonder in the back of your mind, it's like, okay, they battled adversity. This is their first real battle of adversity. Like they started the season 0-1, they beat Miami. They started 1-2, then they go on the 10-game win streak. Now it's like, okay, after a division loss to a team that you should have beaten, how do you respond in a primetime game next Sunday night? That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think that'll say a lot. Because every team loses, like every team has a bad half, a bad game, or whatever. Like I see so many people on Twitter, Patriots fans, like freaking out about certain things. It's just annoying. Like you guys never would have survived like the dynasty years. People think that Tom Brady and the Patriots won every game by like multiple scores all the time. It's not how it went. But yeah, I think we'll find out more about this team after the Ravens game. But I get what you're saying. Liam, how do you feel about the team moving forward? Does it change anything for you? Like, do you think Al's thing about the Patriots kind of being a shitty second half team is a big issue, or just kind of how do you feel moving forward?
I I gotta say, like, it definitely blows. It's demoralizing to lose that game in the fashion that they did. But I I gotta say, like the 21-0 Patriots were one of the most dynamic versions of the Patriots that I've seen all year. Like the passing game, they weren't crushing them with the passing game, but the run game was flawless. Uh Drake May looked like Johnny Manziel back there. Like everything was flowing. The defensive line was getting after Josh Allen. Like that 21-0 Patriots team looked incredible. And even after the fact, like up until like the bitter end, like up until the fourth quarter, they didn't look great. That last drive where we ended up going for it on fourth down and not getting it, like that drive was the first time it really looked like a grind. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how have we fallen off so badly where we can't get a single first down in this circumstance? We couldn't even get across the 50. I was like, what has happened? So like I don't just chalk that up to coaching or anything like that. I think it's truly like a momentum thing. Like it's if you talk to any Falcons fan or player from that Super Bowl year, they're gonna go, dude, I don't know what happened. Like we were doing everything right, and then all of a sudden everything that we were doing that worked for us wasn't. And it's like it's just an extremely confusing feeling for fans. I can only imagine what it's like for the players that are involved in it. But like the Patriots looked good. They looked damn good. And I liked that they were not running the ball a lot in that stat that you suggested, which I do agree. It's nice that you pointed out the flaws with that stat as well, because they did have a one play drive where Henderson took it the distance. Incredible touchdown, by the way. That was fucking
Great.
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. And
Yeah.
so good. So demoralizing to the Bills. That dude dove for it, missed. Mays throwing the
Mm-hmm.
block. It was
Yep.
stellar.
Yep.
But like I don't want the you play to not lose. I want the Dan Campbell you play to win. Like we as Patriots fans of the old dynasty, we used to feast on teams that played not to lose. Like I remember when Blake Bortles um got the it was, got onto the field for offense to drive to beat the Patriots and go to the Super Bowl. And the play calling was so conservative and so weak. And they're just like holding on, being like, if we can just get past the 50, we'll kick a field goal and win this game. And
Mm-hmm.
they ended up having to air it out in desperation, and it looked like a rushed play, and it looked unplanned. Stephon Gilmore swatted that shit away, and the game was over with. And
Iconic
like we
moment, by the way.
iconic, yeah,
Iconic in Patriots
mm,
history.
I can see it play out
Yep.
in my mind as I tell you guys. And it is. We used to feast on teams like that, so I don't want us to start playing like that. It's truly just like the 2017 Houston Rockets, where it's you live by the three, you die by the three. It's like, oh, we're 0 for 22 from three. Maybe we should start taking layups in mid-range. No, that's not our game. Like, unfortunately, like, would that be logical to an extent? Yeah, probably, but that's not our game. Like, just keep chucking them up, because in theory, most of the time, not if you're the Rockets, you're gonna start hitting a couple and you should get it. Not if you're the Patriots in the second half of this game either. But in the grand scheme of things, if we took five of these games and the Patriots played the same way they did in this past game, in all five of those games, we'd win four out of those five.
Yeah, I don't think like the play calling, everybody, like it's everybody's favorite thing to hate on Josh McDaniels. I had no issue with this play calling. I think just the plays weren't working. Like you said, it's like
Yeah.
a weird momentum thing where just the Bills, like it is what it is. And we'll talk about the refs in a second. But it's just like it was just a perfect storm of everything. But I do want to talk about, one of the bright spots of the second half, that Henderson run, incredible, incredible to see
Incredible.
Drake May running down there too, which like he wasn't just like that wasn't just window dressing. Like if Drake May did not run down there with him, Henderson was not scoring because there were
I
two
agree.
people down there. May had to block someone. I don't think I've seen May run that fast. I texted Al. I was like, I feel like May should really talk his shit to Henderson on the sideline. Like, dude, I kept up with you. I thought you were supposed to run like a 4.240. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? But yeah, that play was awesome. At that point, did you guys think the Patriots were winning? Because that put them up what,
No,
Yeah.
28 to
no,
24? I thought 100%. I was like, oh, this is it.
no.
Yeah. I
30,
thought it was
it
over.
put them up 31-28. And by the way,
31
Mike,
28.
sorry, I'm gonna be that
No, fine. I
jack
forgot. Yep.
I'm gonna be that jackwagon for a second and be like, earlier you said Ramondre Stevenson pulled off the big run. And
Mm-hmm.
someone on here is gonna be like, no, it was Travion Henderson, you moron. Because
No,
that's how
please
people are
do.
when they listen to these podcasts. But no, I didn't, because I just saw the way that the defense was for the last three drives, and I'm like, and I texted this to you, Mike. I said, in a weird way, they scored too quickly. In a very
Mm-hmm.
weird way, because it's like, okay, of course you get the immediate score. Like we're happy about it. It's great. Like we're all hooping, hollering. It's great. But then it's like, oh geez, there's still 9 minutes left on the clock, and there's way too much time on that clock. Now, if they scored that with like a minute 10, it's like, okay, now you got to really force them. They
Mm-hmm.
really got to force it down the field, but there's too much time on the clock and the defense wasn't making any stops. So I was just like, it's nice, but I don't know.
Liam, you thought they were winning though when he
Yeah.
ran there? I thought for sure too. Yeah.
Yeah. I have texts between me and my friend that I'd be jailed if I shared on the air, but we were, to say the least, celebrating another win.
Yeah. And
Oh, by the way,
obviously
real
they didn't.
quick, can I just get this out real quick? This is something that really bothered me, and it's so illogical, but I don't even
Really
care.
grinded his gears.
It
I
grinded.
thought he was
It
going to
did
say
grind my
it.
gears, Liam. The Bills fans that on Twitter, on other social media platforms everywhere, that were basically in the first half like, oh, good game, Patriots fans. Oh, congrats on the division. Blah. Like, I hate you. I can't
Yeah.
stand you. You are the worst. And I said this too, and you guys know who I'm talking about. We're not going to say his name because I don't want to do it. We know who we're talking about. He texted me, and I called him out for this. And if he's ever listens to this, you know that I talked to you about this, bud. So you can't say that I'm talking shit. I told him, I'm like, you are not allowed to say anything for the rest of the game because you gave up on your team. And there were other fans that we were like, Patriots won. Like, good for you. Like, congratulations. It's the second quarter. It's football. Anything happens. Look what happened. And I told him, I'm like, this is why I can't stand you fans, because we've learned as Patriots fans, the game is never over until the game is over. And there's a couple examples in there, right? 28-3, an obvious example,
Mm-hmm.
24 nothing against the Broncos in 2013. And there's other examples in there too. So shut
Seahawks
up and
being
wait
up
till the
two
game's
touchdowns.
over.
The Seahawks being up two touchdowns in the Super
There's
Bowl.
plenty of them. There's
Yep.
plenty of
Yep.
them, yes. But my gosh, did that just piss me off to no end. I had to
Yeah.
Yeah.
get that out.
Bills fans have been very weird this week. And Patriots fans have been just as weird back. Just a lot of weird, like, outside of sports insults and just very strange stuff. It got so weird that I was almost like, I want some Patriots fans to feel pain, like mental pain for what was going on. I don't know, weird stuff. But yeah, I mean, Bills fans gave up on their team. Patriots fans were too cocky, and then this happened. Um, but but yeah, we have to talk about the refs. And then I mean, like we'll talk about some other details of the game too, but I feel like the refs are the biggest thing. First
Yeah.
and foremost, we have to get it out there. Just like Vrabel said, the refs did not cost you the game. You made, as the Patriots, you made plenty of plays to lose the game. But what I will say is when your team is playing a little iffy, a little shitty, and you do finally make big plays. When those plays are called back because of ticky tack or just straight up bullshit calls, that's where it becomes okay. Like it's hard enough because clearly we're not at the top of our game right now, but we finally made a stop. Carlton Davis, big stop on third down, holding, which by the way was not holding. I looked up the rule. By rule, not holding. Ticky tack, because it does get called sometimes, but he never moved the receiver. He never impeded his ability to catch the ball. But whatever. Marcus Jones, 4th and 2.
Dude.
Marcus Jones
That was
not
bad.
only deflects the ball or like gets in the way and stuff, but picks the ball off. What do these refs do? Not only do they call defensive pass interference, they say that Khalil Shakir caught the ball. Not once did Shakir have the ball until they got to the ground. So, like, both of those calls are huge ones. And then the final play of the game, Stephon Diggs was getting mauled, by the way. And I know people are saying, oh, it was within 5 yards. It was within 5 yards. I posted the rule on Twitter. Yes, within 5 yards, you can, really bump and run whatever you need to do. You cannot grab the receiver from the back and hold him when you initiate contact from the back as he's trying to get away.
You have to be
That
in
is
front of them
holding.
making contact.
And he
Right.
was not. So like just so many things. And again, the Patriots still didn't want to do anything to start the second half. So like it's not all on that, but I want to kind of throw the refereeing stuff to you guys, but my just overall thoughts, it's tough when you're having a bad game, you finally start to make big plays cuz like I said, that was third down and fourth down, both would have resulted in a turnover on downs or the Bills would have ended up punting it from where they were on that third down. It's just tough to win a game when you finally make plays and they get called back and you give a really good team like 3 mulligans. So, how'd you guys feel about the officiating? Do you think it really played a part? Do you think it's just people bitching, or just what were your thoughts about the officiating coming out of this game?
I'll keep this short and sweet. I think it was bad on both sides because I think too, like the very first play of the game, the Drake May ball down the right sideline to Kayshon Boutte. You look at the replay, ball looks like it hits the ground. Now, obviously, we'll take it, and Sean McDermott's an
Mm-hmm.
idiot for not challenging that. So good for us for
I
McDermott
thought
being
that
a
was an
fool.
incredible catch.
Yeah, that was
That
not
was
a
50
catch.
50. Could have went either way
That
because the
was,
ball
yeah.
moved, but like it would be one of those ones where it's like it moved, but his hand was under it. If
I
you're rooting for the team, you want it to be a catch. If you're not, you would think it wouldn't.
right.
That's one of those. Yeah.
And I would not have complained if they were like, okay, they're taking it back because it looks like it hit the ball the ground. Okay, fine. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
overall, just bad on both sides. Just an awful overall game for the refs. Bad, bad, bad.
Yeah.
If the worst thing you could say about a call going the Patriots' way is a catch, unilaterally any catch, I don't consider that a bad call because no one really knows what a fucking catch is. I'll harp back to the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl when Corey Clement, who did secure the ball but might not have got his foot down in the back of the end
Mm-hmm.
zone, they ruled that a catch. A touchdown later, Zach Ertz dives for it and the ball comes out. He ends up catching it, kind of a Des Bryant situation, but he did lose possession and was on the ground. So, like, and they still ruled that a catch. Like, no one knows what a fucking catch is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if that's
Yeah.
the worst call that the Patriots got away with, that's a no call to me because no one knows what a catch is. I found the Marcus Jones penalty just egregious, like
That's the
truly
worst one.
a sickening, disgusting display. I it makes me want to yell unkind things at referees. Like that makes me viscerally angry. The number one rule is if a corner turns his head, there shouldn't be pass interference. And incredibly timed by Marcus Jones, milliseconds before the ball touches any player, he gets his head around quickly, and bang, the ball is basically in Shakir in his hands. He did it. What more can you ask of the dude? Then he makes a spectacular play picking it off. I found that absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I couldn't stand that one bit. And then there were a ton of holding calls. I yelled really loud and I got the my neighbor came over to ask if I was all right. I yelled very loud at Dalton Kincaid caught a pass on the goal line. It was behind him between two Patriots,
Yeah.
if you remember that.
Yep.
And while that's going on, watch the Bills left guard just tackle Christian Barmore. And
Yes.
I yelled the king of all swear words
Oh,
very, very
it's a
loud
good
in my
one.
living room. I
It's a
was
good
like,
one.
how could you let them get away with this? Like, it was just so blatant. And the Dion Dawkins thing where he puts his arm up, I get it. Technically, he had his arms up, so it isn't. But, like, even the announcer was like, well, sometimes
JJ
they
Watt,
still
of
call
all
that.
people, JJ
Yeah.
Watt knows.
Mm.
He was the one who
Yeah, he's
spoke
like, well,
on it. Yep.
sometimes, yeah, he's like, if they dock their head, sometimes they still call that. I'm like, dude, I'm like, call the fucking thing. Like, at least one of them. Like, I'm listing off three of them here. Just call one of the
4th and 2
three.
to Mac Hollins, the deep pass.
Yeah.
When
Mm.
Tre'Davious White mauled him, had both
Yeah.
hands on him, pulling
Yep.
him down.
And then,
Even if you don't
I'm
want to
like,
call it
dude,
PI, well, it should have been because the ball was in the air, so it should have been PI.
yeah,
Like, it's not. And also, I think Vrabel said it on EEI this morning. The Bills are the number one team for getting holding calls. They got none.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that
like,
was a little weird. A little
again,
odd.
I don't think that and I saw a lot of people saying NFL rigged, NFL rigged. I don't even think it's that. I think it's worse. I think the refs are just this bad.
are
Like,
just
I think
fucking
they
dumb.
either get something in their head where, like, they're not like, I'm not going to call something for this team, but like, just something goes on where, like, they just see it differently or whatever. I mean, Liam, you listed off three or four things. I was going to bring it up, but you brought it up the one where, the left tackle, who was pancaking,
Left guard.
the left tackle, or
Who was
whatever,
what?
the one when he had his hands up or whatever on the ground, the one that
Dion
you were talking
Dawkins?
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was that wasn't on Barmore though. I think that one was on Chason.
No,
He did
that was
another
on an
one.
edge rusher. That was on
Ridiculous. It had to be
yeah, that
either
was on the
Handry or
edge.
Chason or something. Yeah. Like, you
Hmm.
saw that, and it's like all these things are huge plays that impact the game. And it's like
Yeah,
the defense, like, had, like, Spillane didn't play at all. That was big. Milton Williams, as we know, wasn't playing.
yeah,
Like, big things. And like, they also just weren't making plays when they needed to. But it's just tough when you expect a game to be officiated one way. And as a pass rusher, you rush a certain way because you're like, listen, I'm either going to get to you or you're going to have to hold me and we're going to get the call. And when you don't
yeah,
get the call, that's bullshit. As Marcus Jones, I'm going to face you the entire time. And the second I see you going up for the ball, that's when I turn. Stephon Diggs is a master at
yes,
this. Randy Moss was a
yes,
master at this to make it
yeah.
hard
They just
on the
leave their
defensive
hands
back.
down and then bang.
Dude, we saw it earlier in this year with Stephon Diggs. Like, that's how good
Yeah,
he is. So Khalil Shakir had his hands out. Marcus Jones turned around, caught the ball. And it's crazy that you're seeing all these posts by, like, NFL or people talking about it. And they're like, a great catch on 4th down. Show me the catch. Is the catch in
yeah.
the room with us? Because it was not a catch. Like,
Is the catch in the room with us?
not once did
Yeah.
Shakir
Do you
ever
see
have his
dead
hands on him.
catches?
Oh
Yeah,
my God, just horrible. And again, like none of us think that the refs, like, gave the game away or whatever, but it's just tough.
Right.
yeah. I
Right.
I like
There we go.
I don't know. I just found it in my pocket. It's like one of those gas station boner pills. But like
No, my I thought my computer was just going to shut down. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
yeah.
But some,
Whoa.
I don't know. Someone's trying to
Um
connect to a printer. I don't even have a printer. I don't know
like
what's going on.
I just want things to be called on both sides in any game in any
Mm-hmm.
circumstance, whether I'm a fan of the team or not. If the second half is loaded with calls, I'm going to be skeptical on both teams, but if it's in the second half and it's loaded on one team, then I'm super skeptical. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know it wasn't even the same sport, but like the Tim Donaghy thing from the
Yeah.
NBA, like, it's ruined all integrity that I could have of refs because
Yep.
these refs are people and like who knows where they grew up? What fandom do they have? Is their wife a
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Bills fan? Is
Right.
Yep.
whatever? Does their kid love Josh Allen? Like anything? Or are they a degenerate gambler who's gambling on the games? Which, like, less likely, but could still be the case. Like, these are humans, and I think it's just absolutely despicable. Unfortunately, like, there's no way to take human bias out of it for the most
Mm-hmm.
part, unless you were to run it like a militant operation, where if you found out somebody had these specific interests, then you drag them into a dark room and break some fingers and kind of set an example of them. But unfortunately, that's not the society that we live in, and we're not going to do that. I think that would weed out the corruption, but no, of course you can't do that nowadays. It's 2025 after all. No, so like, I don't know. It's
Stupid.
it drives me fucking nuts, and I can't stand it. It's football's the greatest game until you see a flag, and you're like, dude, like, oh, really any sport. I hate the free throws in basketball, but like truly with football, where I'm like, why are you here?
Have you ever seen the Tim Donaghy scandal documentary, Liam? It's a
Yeah.
really good one.
Yeah, seen the scandal, read the book. I subscribed to his gambling page for a little bit. He's actually not that good of a gambler. When he can't fix the games, doesn't really know shit.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he doesn't. But the book was awesome. The documentary was awesome. Gambling skills, a little less so. But like, yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. But like, if I was a ref, dude, I would gamble on the games. Of course. I'm as corrupt
It'd
as
be
they
tough
get,
not
though.
to. It'd be tough to. I remember the
Yeah.
Texans used to have a tight end, Ryan Griffin, years ago. He
Hmm.
he he went to Londonderry High School. Like he's from the town I'm from. I
Oh,
used
no
to
way.
always think, like, man, when the Texans played the Patriots, like, did he try his hardest, or did he like if it's a close game, did he maybe drop a couple balls? There were some plays where I was
Yeah.
like, I think you could have caught that, buddy, and I think you would have
He
dropped it
was
on
the
purpose.
backup,
So
though.
like,
He
I don't
hardly
know.
ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was no, but there was one game where he like got some like starting minutes, so to speak, and like he had
Oh,
one
really?
drop over the middle. I remember, and I was like, I think you're better than that, but I don't know. But yeah, no,
Right,
I
right.
definitely would. That's why I have no integrity. That's just like I could never be a cop. I would be the dirtiest cop. I would
Dude,
take
I'd be
all
such
the
a
bribes,
bad
dude.
cop.
I'd be so like all these movies where you see like the dirty cops and like all that stuff. Like there's a mini series on HBO Max called We Own the City with John Bernthal about Baltimore cops and everything. John Bernthal is obviously a dirty cop. I'm like, that would be me. That would 100% be me. Like I would find like $1 million in a thing and I'd be like, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we're each gonna take like 10 grand or whatever, maybe 100 grand. There's four of us in the room. We'll come back with 600 grand. There's still a big bus. We got guns and drugs. We'll just take some money. 100%. Like, and this is out there now, so I'll never be able to be a cop, but I'm just saying I will never be able to do any of that. But yeah, like it just, this, this was a tough game. Like there's definitely positives to take from it. Like I said, the first half I think was really good. I think the Patriots found something in the red zone. I'm just kind of fire off thoughts and then we'll go from there because I don't think we need to talk about it too much anymore before we talk about the Ravens. But it's just like I think they figured out some of their red zone issues. Like I was just saying, maybe use Drake May's feet a little bit more in the red zone. That did seem to work. Some more RPOs or something like that. It's great that Trevion Henderson is kind of rounding into shape. The fact that he can run at almost any time is going to be huge. I think that's going to come up big at some point in the playoffs. But yeah, the Patriots need Milton Williams back. I think that
Mhm.
is my takeaway from this game because you got to think if Milton Williams is around, Josh Allen isn't going to have enough time to make some of these plays. But that's kind of my takeaway. I focused a little bit more on the first half. Like I'm not gonna overreact about an entire season just on an anomaly of a second half where everything bad went wrong. Now if they play shitty on Sunday Night Football against the Ravens, talk to me then. We'll have a different conversation. But I'm not going to sound the alarm bells yet. Team's 11-3. They're going to win the East. Like they're going to have a high playoff spot. You can say, oh, you're just kind of all sunshine and rainbows. No, because that's exactly how the team is looking at this too. Like it's one loss. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything else about the game? Any specifics you wanted to get into? Any certain plays or whatever?
I guess I did have a point on the Ravens game if we're segueing into that.
Al, do you have anything else you want to talk about with the this horrid game?
Nope. Just hope they can bounce back. They need to bounce back. They need to make a statement this upcoming week.
All right. Well, that a perfect segue right to Liam. Ravens game, Patriots game got flexed out to Sunday Night Football, as we said last week. I will be in Vegas to watch this game. Like I was telling you guys, it's going to be weird to watch a game at 5 o'clock when it's Sunday night here. Time zones still freak me out. It's crazy how that works.
I don't
But huge
understand.
game. Liam, though, you kick us off with your thoughts or anything on the Ravens game, and we'll go from there.
It's very simple, merely a sentence or two. So I have a coworker, a dear friend of mine, and he is a diehard born and raised Baltimore Ravens fan, and he plans on coming on the show next episode after the Ravens game. With the caveat, if they lose, he might bail. But he doesn't think they're going to lose. In fact, he had a message that he wanted me to read off on the show, and his message was tell the world that we back up. So he has a lot of faith in his Baltimore Ravens. They win 27 nothing and Lamar still looks like shit and throws a pick, but the world, let the world know that they're back up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let the
Yeah.
world know we're
So,
back up. Dude, you
yeah.
like Derrick Henry has one good game and everybody's like, "Oh my god, tell the world we're
Yeah.
back."
Oh
He's
yeah,
actually been really
yeah.
good recently,
Yeah, they're
I gotta
really
say.
back up with a shitty Cleveland Browns team, a Cincinnati team with no Joe Burrow, and Steelers with 42
No,
year
they Joe
old
Burrow.
Aaron Rodgers. Like, oh my gosh, they basically had no Joe Burrow throughout the year, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me
So, like,
let me tell you guys because I don't know anything about the Ravens. The Ravens have the 27th ranked pass defense, so I would expect Drake May to kind of go off. And they have the oh fuck, where are they for? And they have the 15th ranked rush defense. So I think Al, this goes to what you said. I think the Patriots go out and make a statement against the
they
Ravens.
need to.
Sunday night football. The Ravens, they like you just saw, they don't really have a great pass rush. This isn't like I feel like when people think of the Ravens, they think about it almost like the Steelers, where you think of the 2000s Ravens and Steelers, the steel curtain type, rough grind, Ray Lewis, like that type of defense. That's not who these teams are anymore. These teams are on their way down, especially defensively. Offensively, with the Ravens, you could say they still have talent, so whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go with what you said, Al. I do think the Patriots go out and I think they make a statement. I think they bounce back. We said before the season, I think we said during the season, the Patriots should and most likely will split these two games between the Ravens and the Bills. And it looks like they're on track to do that. I think that I think everybody comes out more focused just strictly because of the Bills game. We've all played sports. After you have a bad loss, you're like, like we got to really buckle down. It's not like you're trying harder, but there's just a different sense
You
of
feel
urgency
human.
to it. Yeah,
Yeah, and like
exactly.
a focus level, essentially.
Exactly. And Diggs said this today. He either said today or yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was today. Maybe actually, I think it was after the game. He was like, maybe we needed this. Bradbury, after the game too, was like, yeah, like coach, Vrabel said great words, like it's tough to win. This is only a loss if we don't learn anything from it. I think there's a lot of things to learn from it. And the good part about this Bills loss is it wasn't a horrible game. You had a bad second half. If you could do or try to replicate what you did in the first half, do that. I don't know why Josh McDaniels didn't call any play action plays in the second half. I bet that doesn't happen again. Like, I bet that Drake May doesn't complete 5 passes in the second half again, especially not against this defense. So, yeah, I think the Patriots come out laser focused. I think they win by 2 scores. I think this is going to be one of those wins where they win, but then afterwards, people are like, yeah, but you still lost to the Bills. Like, you beat the Ravens. They're not even that good, even though everybody's talking about them like you guys kind of were, where they're kind of on the up and up right now, trying to fight for a division spot. But
Right.
that's how I feel. I think it's a multi-score win, whether it's 10 or 14 points, whatever. But I think they win by at least 2 scores. What do you guys think happens in this Baltimore Ravens game?
I'll go I'll go a little closer. I'll go 27-21 Patriots. I mean, I think they'll be able to put up points. They've shown they can put up points. And especially with what you said, Mike, not a great pass defense. The rushing defense is middle of the pack. So, I mean, if you get Travion Henderson and Ramondre going, like you said, get some play action for Drake May in there. I think some points are going to be had. And I think that the whole key is going to be shut down Derrick Henry. And let me rephrase that. Neutralize Derrick Henry. If he gets a touchdown, so be it. But if you can shut down Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, get rid of their weapons in the passing attack, and you're just relying on the run game, I think the Patriots have a better chance in that regard.
I agree. I'm trying to see where the Ravens are offensively and stuff. I'm trying to look that up. But Liam, how do you think this is going to go?
I have no prediction, no score prediction, no win-loss prediction. I have absolutely nothing. Most of all, I am very excited that it's a Sunday night football game. And this Sunday night football game features the latest installment of one of my favorite rivalries in the NFL, Patriots Ravens, two teams that truly fucking hate each other. Probably because the Ravens hate every team that they play, but particularly they really fucking hate the Patriots.
Hmm.
And I hope some of that history of Patriots Ravens carries on in this installment as well. I would imagine with John Harbaugh still as the coach there, he definitely doesn't like the Patriots very
Hmm.
much. No matter who's coaching on the other side, no matter who's quarterback on the other side, I don't think he likes the Patriots very much. So I'm just super excited to see the newest installment of that from like the old like Kyle Bowler and Jamal Lewis days to like when the rivalry really heated up with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed knocking out
Hmm.
Julian Edelman, breaking his arm, and Tom Brady getting the one up on him with the Billy Cundiff kick, them coming back and Brady throwing two picks, one of which to Donnell fucking Ellerbe, and they go to the Super Bowl and win it. And
Oh.
then, yeah, we had the Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady crossover, which was super sweet, one of the best games that I remember offhand. And the Patriots won that in a very, very tough season for us for the most part. But then even later, the one game Al went to, the Mac Jones, Devontae Parker legacy game, like that was
Yes,
an
sir.
awesome game that
Hmm.
came down to the wire. I don't know if you remember the final score, Al, but that was a close game.
Yeah, it was like 35-29, something like that.
Yeah, it
Something
was
in
an
that
awesome
ballpark.
game. And now we get it again. Whole new cast of characters on the Patriots end, couple of mainstays with the Ravens, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think, and just because I said that the Patriots are going to win by two scores, I don't think that they're going to like manhandle the Ravens. I think that it's just
No,
going to be like, I don't think you're ever going to feel like, I don't think the Patriots are ever going to feel like they're getting blown out or even the Ravens because Harbaugh's there. They are still a professional team. They're playing with a lot of chips on their shoulders, as are the Patriots. But, like the Ravens need this win too. I think it's going to be one of the things where, the Patriots have the ball late in the fourth and they go down and they kick a field goal to go up by 10 points or a field goal to go up by 13 points or something. I don't think it's going to be you're up by two scores the entire game. Or it could be like the Bills game and they go up 21-0 and they just stay that hot the entire game. Like, I guess I could see that, but I don't know. I don't think that the Ravens defense is as bad as the Bills when it comes to rush defense, which obviously they aren't, which is kind of how the Patriots put up their points against the Bills. But yeah, I just think that it's a good game. It won't be like a boring Sunday night game, but I just think the Patriots late in the fourth, they go up two scores and then they just kind of hold off the Ravens there. But yeah, Liam, so you don't have any sort of any score prediction or anything. You just want a good game.
I got nothing. I want Sunday night football, baby. I've already planned to work from home that Monday. I'm gonna stay up, probably get belligerent. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I have no score prediction. This last game, I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting with the Patriots. Even the last game, it was entertaining, so I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be juicy. I don't know what I'm getting with this fucking Ravens team. I'm waiting for it.
It's
Each
true.
week. I'm like, this is going to be the game. Lamar Jackson, like four passing touchdowns, one rushing touchdown. Derrick Henry, 200 yards rushing, and it's just not happening. So, like, we could get a fucking dud, or maybe that game will finally happen. Like, between how the Patriots just played and how the Ravens have been blowing it, I have no prediction. I'm not even going to put my thoughts out there.
It's kind of the smart way
okay,
to do it.
fair enough.
Yeah. If the Patriots lose, I kind of want to lock you guys into an opinion here. If they lose, regardless of how it looks, what like will we have stuff to kind of air out and talk about next week? Like some
I think
serious
Yeah.
topics to talk about?
I think one or two. I think so.
I think I might say yeah. Even though if you win the last two games against the Dolphins and the Jets, you'll most likely still get the East.
No,
But
you still you
That's
you
why
still
I
you
don't
still
care.
do. No, you still
you
do.
still do
That's
no matter what,
100%.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because then you'll have a
Better
better
division
division. Yeah,
record. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I'm not worried about it.
For me, it's going to be how. It's going to be all how. If you lose a close game, all right. You know what?
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, cool. So
Don't
you'll
get it
probably
wrong.
get
If they
the
get blown out by 50, I'm gonna have something to say, but
yeah.
like I don't think that's gonna
I don't think so either. I think the Patriots team is too good for that, which is crazy to say. A year, coming off a 4-13 season, like that's crazy.
happen.
But yeah, Al, did you give your score or did you give what you think it might be?
27-21.
27-21, right? Okay, I thought so. Yeah, I'll probably go like 23-13. Yeah, I'll say 23-13. I
Weird.
think it'll be a good one. We'll see. It's going to be in Baltimore, so road dogs go out there. I mean,
Shithole.
we should just assume the Patriots are in a good, the odds of them winning are pretty good. I think the Ravens are like 2.5 point favorites or something like that, or 3.5 or something.
Juicy.
Before we get out, Tuck Rule takes lock of the week last week hit. Trevion Henderson blew
Yeah, it
his out of
did.
the water with one
Yeah.
run. He blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weren't we also mulling a Marcus Jones pick, which definitely should have
That
happened.
was my thing. I was down for that, but it did not happen, even though I
It
thought
was
it was going
actually
to.
it was about as close as you can get.
Now, you sons of bitches. This week, before we go though, Tuck Rule takes lock of the week. What do you guys want to do? Mine is probably going to be towards Drake May if that gives you guys anything, but do you guys have any that you want to throw out there?
Drake May, 2 passing tubs.
Drake made 2 passing tubs. Sounds good. I will kind of want to go off the beaten path and say something like Ramondre Tubb, which just seems so far removed now. But yeah, so mine's just kind of it's a shot in the dark. It's a gamble, truly. But I would say we're a sophisticated Patriots podcast. Let's steer into the stats a little bit here. We should do something with Drake May's passing. So, Mike, what's your Drake May's passing one, and then we'll debate from there.
I was going to go yards, but I think, you know what? 2 passing touchdowns. I like it. I think maybe the Patriots are afraid to get into the red zone, so they just start bombing it from the 50. And it's just like, this is what happens. So, yeah,
I do
I think
like
I'll
yards
go.
though. If he only had 155 against the Bills and the passing game looked only okay, like the box scores aren't great.
No,
The but
no,
I would
it's not
imagine
good, but it
like
didn't have to be great.
I'd put like any sum of money that if I could get him 200 plus passing yards at decent odds, I'd put a grotesque sum of money on that.
So right now on prize picks, it's normally close to everything. He's at 239.5 for passing yards. I don't
Doable.
I think it's either that or
I wouldn't
touchdowns.
hammer it. Yeah, let's just go with the touchdowns
Let's
and
go
keep it
touchdowns. So
simple.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I dig it. Okay. Yeah, I could see it too. God, I hope. Imagine if Drake May goes out there, throws like 3 touchdowns, finally gets his 300-yard game. Like, that'd be insane. Could happen though. Like I said, Ravens don't have a great pass defense, so we'll see.
True.
Um, Overall thoughts on the team. Do you guys have anything you want to get off your chest before we get out of here? Or do you think we kind of hit the nail on the head with everything here?
I think we hit the nail on the head. We'll have more overreactions next week if it turns out being bad.
Yeah.
They can win the East next week. Can they? If the Bills lose, well, no.
No, because
No.
they'll
Even
still
Even
if the
if the
have,
Bills
Bills
lose and
lose?
you
even if
win,
the Bills lose, because they'll have 5 losses, you'll have three, and
yes,
they
you
could
could technically
still,
lose out and
yeah,
then they
Yeah.
win
right.
tiebreaker, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, whatever. Either way, win next week. Win next week, unlike Liam against me in fantasy this week. I just wanted to get that out there. Liam, you did lose to me in fantasy this week in the playoffs. I bounced you out of there. So we're really just trying to weed out the losers in this league. So we got you out. And I'm moving on to play Al in the next round. So next
That's what
week,
it's looking like.
if I have to take down all of Tuck Rule takes, like I told you, Al, on my way to the title, I will do so with a tear in my eye. And I'm sorry it has to be this way.
I hope you all lose.
All right, we're out of here. Tuck Rule takes episode 211. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, after another Patriots win, start another winning streak. We'll see what happens, but we will see you next week. We're out. Sweet feet.
Sweet feet.
Sweet.